Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm back, and this is an update about the submarine. And unfortunately, tragedy has struck, as we all suspected it to strike. This is what happens when you try to input wokeness into your stuff and then expect everything to go well. You keep on saying over and over again, wokeness kills people. It does not save. And what we're seeing here is that when you have DEI and put it forced into people that, because you just want black people or etc., or whatever it may be, to be into your company because of woke points or just because of their color or the skin, it will lead to tragedy. And I think somebody once mentioned before in my comments that it was why I'm afraid to fly. Well, there's a good reason for that, because they are trying to hire people that have no credentials or nothing, and there is a threat to them not knowing what to do and flying horribly. This was reported. I reported this recently, or no, at least like a month or two ago, and yeah. You are right, it is kind of scary and dangerous to fly, especially the way they're doing this because of the woke points. And what we have here is, we have this, the breaking. The first deep-water recovery robot, Vector 6000, has made it to the ocean floor to begin searching for the missing Titanic sub. While it's feared the onboard oxygen supply may have been depleted, the U.S. Coast Guard still considers this an active search and rescue, not a recovery mission. Victor 6000 has arms that can cut cables, dislodge a trapped or stranded vessel, as well as to fix a cable onto the sub to allow it to be wrenched up to the surface. More search and rescue assets will be arriving on scene today. Now, what we have here is from this guy from the Titan tragedy. It says the use of carbon fiber pressure hull hires young and experienced technicians. No subject matter expert in submarine operations and safety. Does not use lessons learned from NASA and aviation community. Possible that the atmosphere life support was not tested. Test of 4,000 meters was not tested at sea before first commercial dive. No way to ventilate the pressure hull. No emergency briefing, no voice communications, and comms lost during testing. So this is technically what this guy is talking about. I will post this guy's YouTube down into the down in the description below, so you guys can watch the full video. I don't really want to show everything here, mostly due to the fact that it's 20 minutes, and I don't want to record a 20-minute video. So we have this here. It took far too long. Family of missing British billionaire Hamish Harden slammed Ocean Gate over frightening 8-hour delay and raising the alarm after sub vanished. The family of a missing British billionaire have slammed the company behind the Titan submarine for waiting 8 hours before raising the alarm when it went missing. As the firm's co-founder insisted, rescues have longer than we think, despite predictions the oxygen has run out. The craft, run by Ocean Gate Exploration, submerged on Sunday at 1 p.m. UK time, 8 a.m. EST, and 8 p.m. in Sydney. Around 400 miles southeast of St. John's, Newfoundland, near to the Titanic wreck, at 2:45 p.m., it lost contact with its mother, the Polar's parents, but it wasn't reported missing to the U.S. Coast Guard until 10:40 p.m. Kathleen Consett, a cousin of UK business Hamish Harden, 58, who was on the sub, said the delay before contacting the authorities was far too long. She told the Gladys it's very frightening it took so long for them to get going to rescue them. It's far too long. I would have thought 3 hours would be the bare minimum. The world is now praying for a miracle after rescuers estimated the vital oxygen supply would end at 12:08 p.m. UK time. Banging has been heard at 38-minute intervals from the depths of the Atlantic, possibly from the men striking the side of the sub, but it has not been located. Today, Rear Admiral John Munger of the U.S. Coast Guard said the operation remains an active search, and he remains hopeful thanks to favorable weather conditions. Well, fortunately, tragedy struck. Asked about the banging noises, he said initial analysis suggested they were background ocean noise, but this was still being examined. Those stuck on board the sub also include Ocean Gate CEO Sauken Rush, French Navy veteran PhD negligence, and Pakistani businessman Shahadi Dawood, and his son Solman, who was just 19 and a student of this Strathclyde University. So we have this here. This is what we're talking about, and it's just absolutely tragedy in every step of the imagine. What we have here is that I've broken some rules to make this. How Ocean Gate boss revealed the 7-inch archaic window on Lost Titan sub would get squeezed in under water pressure, and admitted he ignored guidance to create a deep sea vessel. Now, here's the problem that I have with this. As this person said, it took far too long for them to locate it. Well, what we have here is that it says there is no emergency breathing, no voice communications, comms lost during testing. Now listen, I understand you're upset that it take too long, but you have to understand that as well that this guy, as from the previous video, cut so many corners, did so many bad stuff, and even was warned back in 2010 of all the issues that it was having, and he still did this type of stuff that that essentially caused all the issues that was happening in the submarine at glance, right? So this is the problem. Yeah, you can say it took far too long, but this guy cut so many corners. This is the reason why these people ultimately met their end, because now we have these tragedies and these issues that cause all these problems. It's like I mean to be the bearer of bad news, but when you do these woke shit, does these stupid things, then yes, you are the one that are going to bear the front of bad things that happen to you. You cannot just allow certain people that do not have the credentials, that don't have the best experiences, the best stuff for the job, to go roam free. And that's a lot of what these Democrats and far left people want to do. Is that they want to hire these people because they're black, because they're Mexican, because of whatever gender, or because they're female, besides them being the best person for the job. And if you're not the best person for the job, and you cut corners, and you try to be woke, this is what ends up in tragedy. People die. People will not do well. They also want to make sure there's no testing to be a doctor. Are you insane? Do you know how many people are going to die on the table because you have inexperienced people? This is absurd. This is insanity at the highest order. We have this here is that we're not giving up. U.S. Coast Guard say hunt for Titanic 5 is still a rescue mission and they are looking for survivors, despite oxygen supply running out. As robots trawl ocean floor, and Ocean Gate co-founder insists they have longer than we think. Yeah, well, I don't think about that is really a good thing, considering the longer than we think is what we call a absolute tragedy. So, we have all this here, and I'm going to go. I'll read more through this, obviously, but I want to get to the nitty-gritty of this. We have breaking Titanic missing sub update. Debris has been found by the U.S. Coast Guard near Titanic wreckage in the search for the missing submersible. This confirms what we discussed for 8 hours yesterday. The carbon fiber hull of the submersible imploded, killing everyone on board instantly. The bad news, the bad news, everyone is unfortunately dead. Our hearts go to their friends and family. The good news, well, this isn't really good news, it's a relief because the implosion means everyone on board died instantly instead of suffocating slowly over days. So, we have this here is a disclaimer. The tweet above assume the debris is related to the Titanic submersible. If debris is unrelated, then we go back to the scenarios I tweeted into details yesterday. So, yeah. Again, this is a tragedy that should have never have happened. The 19-year-old guy should have never died. These people should have never died. But they did. Due to the fact that these people wanted to cut corners, they wanted to be inclusive, they wanted to have inspiration, and this is a tragedy that happens. It's absolutely heartbreaking that this is a thing that happens, and we have to go through this, right? It disturbs me at the highest order that this is what happens, and it disturbs me, pains me, and it's just disgusting. We need to stop with this woke bullshit, guys. We need to stop DEI. Because DEI is going to get so many people killed. We have more of this saying that hopefully we want it to be is your walk in, it senses motion, it senses who you are, you say hello Titan, it senses your voice, it says Stockton, how deep are we to drive today? I say we're going 4,000 meters, says off of his vision. Sub is your vehicle to get there, and it should be an elevator. It should not be an exercise buttons and switches and stuff. He says. So yeah, it's just insanity. The fact that these 5 people were killed because of complete negligence, wokeness, and nothing can be said about it. Like, these people met their end in a tragic way because this man decided to go Connors. I want to say that this company should immediately be sued. The people that own it should be should have it disbanded immediately. This caused 5 deaths, and this is unacceptable. These people had no reason to die. They had no reason to perish, and now this is the case. And can't believe it. This is what's to be expected. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.